Now I have a question. People sometimes say that I mention Shabbat too often. First of all, it's mentioned in almost every ParaShat. It's literally mentioned all over the Torah. So it's not like you're just creating the issue. Second of all, if you look at it, if you look at just this week's ParaShat, we have the holiest place in the world next to the holiest creation in the world, which is the Torah, and Hashem could have connected the two with any mitzvah. With kosher, with brit milah, with tefillin, with nidah, with marriage, with having kids, with the specific things that the Kohen HaGadol needed to do, with the holy work that Moshe Rabbeinu had to do, the laws of court, the laws of business. You have 3 Masechtot in the Gemara that talk about business. Why don't you put that in there? Why don't you talk about making sure that people don't eat pig? Why don't you make sure people that dress modestly? You have all the mitzvot. You have 613 mitzvot you can choose between Bet HaMikdash and Torah. Hashem says no. One mitzvah is the entire Torah. This one mitzvah is like 613 mitzvot. That's why the Shulchan Aruch says someone that violates Shabbat violated the entire Torah. Just like if someone found a way, found a loophole to keep 612 mitzvot, can't, because you're not a Kohen and you're not a woman at the same time. And you don't have the Bet HaMikdash. No one can do 612 mitzvot. But let's say you found a loophole. You can keep 612 mitzvot except Shabbat. It's worth 0. It's worth bidyuk 0. Efes. Nothing. They're considered a goy. They're considered non-Jewish 100%. But not a goy that was born a goy. A goy that was born a goy. A non-Jew that was born a non-Jew could be a righteous Noahide, have olam haba. Just like Job. Just like many other people. There was even prophets that were goyim. But the Shulchan Aruch says someone who violates Shabbat is considered a non-Jew 100%. He's considered not Jewish. If he touches wine, you're not allowed to drink it. You spill it out. You can't even give it to your dog. If he says Kaddish, it actually hurts the person in Shemaim. It doesn't help them. You should not say Kaddish. You're not allowed to be a Chazan. It says a machloket if you're even allowed to say Kaddish on him. Rabbi Ovadia says, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, someone doesn't keep Shabbat, you're allowed to lend him money with interest. You know, it's a big sin to lend a Jew money with interest. He says someone that's not keeping Shabbat, not considered Jewish, lend them money with interest. The chumrah of somebody that's not keeping Shabbat, people don't understand this. People mamash don't understand the significance of not keeping Shabbat. There's a interesting, actually I went over this already in previous Shiurim, so we're not going to go over it again. It's a very interesting Hebrew book online I can give you guys. It's about all of the akin punishments of someone that's a mechalel Shabbat. Each one it's verses with sources from the Zohar, from the Gemara, from all of the Torah. So each one is one verse. One verse, this is what he gets. One verse, like with a few things that I mentioned, each one of them is one tiny verse, one sentence. It's not like a whole paragraphs. It's one sentence. This happens, that happens. Some mechalel Shabbat, gain him forever. Some mechalel Shabbat, not allowed to drink his wine. Some mechalel Shabbat, if he does kiddush, you have to repeat it. All of these things, one verse. It's 86 pages of one verses of punishment for someone that's a mechalel Shabbat. 86 pages.
You mean for one Shabbat?
If you don't know
86 pages of Averas.
86 pages of Averas. 86 pages.
For one Shabbat.
86 pages of punishments.
For one Shabbat?
For someone to dies in Mechalet Shabbat, not one Shabbat. Somebody Mechalet Shabbat, but then does tshuva, it's different. Someone that dies in Mechalet Shabbat, someone that drives to shul, has a serious problem. The Torah source of them, a lot of people don't like to hear when I say that they're not considered Jewish, like I said it, like it's me, like I created this, like I wrote the Torah. But if they want a source, this ParaShat is one of the best sources in the entire Torah. It says here, ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור, ואתה דבר אל בני ישראל לאמור, אך את שבתותי תשמרו, כי אות אי ביני וביניכם לדורותיכם לדעת כי אני אדוני מקדישכם. ושמרתם את השבת כי קודש היא לכם, מחלליה מות יומת, כי כל העושה במלאכה ונכרתה הנפש ההיא מקרב עמיה. 6 ימים יעשה מלאכה, וביום השביעי שבת שבתון קודש לאדוני כל העושה מלאכה, ביום השבת מות יומת. So it says here twice. Hashem said to Moses, saying, now you speak to the children of Israel, saying, however, you must observe my Sabbaths. The reason why it says Sabbaths is not because there's 2 Shabbats a week. It's because you can't just keep one Shabbat and think that it's okay. Like the project they have, Shabbat, in Africa, they started, it's an amazing project. But those people that keep Shabbat, they can't just think, I kept one Shabbat, I'm a tzaddik. It's to keep every Shabbat. It's a good start. You start with that project, Shabbat project. It's an amazing mitzvah that they did, and they should continue doing it every day. But someone that's doing it can't say, okay, I should keep one Shabbat a year, I'm okay. One Shabbat a year is not okay. He's saying Shabbats, meaning all Shabbats. For it is a sign between me and you, for your generations, to know that I am Hashem, who makes you holy. You shall observe the Sabbath, for it is holy to you. Its desecrators, someone who violates a Shabbat, shall be put to death. Shall be put to death is mot yumat. But mot yumat doesn't actually mean put to death. It means death upon death. It's 2 deaths. Mot yumat means death in this world, early death. They're cutting their life in this world. And yumat means they have no share of the world to come. For whoever does work on it, that soul shall be cut off from amongst its people. What is cut off? What is cut off after he died already twice? What is it? Cut off from its people means they're not considered part of Am Yisrael. They're not considered Jewish. For 6 days work may be done, and the 7th day is a day of complete rest. It is sacred to Hashem. Whoever does work on the Sabbath shall be put to death. Again, it's mot yumat. It says mot yumat, not just death. If it was just death, it says death, mot. So it's death upon death. Death in this world, death in the world to come.
Is mot yumat the same as karet? The
karet. Karet is just mot.
In next world.
Right.
Karet is cut off.
Death penalty.
No, but in the olam haba or olam hazeh.
No. Karet is here. There's 36 sins that lose a person's, that is karet actually, you're right, that's 36 sins, that's karet, that makes a person lose their share of the world to come. Shabbat is the biggest one.
So karet's olam haba.
Okay.
Olam haba.
Okay.
Shabbat's one of them.
Shabbat is the biggest one. Violating Shabbat is the biggest sin in Judaism.